Tayo ay 17 pa lang. Ayan, pa-on cam po, pa-on cam po. Ang ating photographer. Spencer, makakapag-picture ka ba? Good morning po mga engineers. Ayan, magpipray na tayo. Ayan. Picture muna tayo tapos magpipray, mag-attendance tayo. Para habang hindi pa tayo mainit. Ayan, good morning sa inyo. Ayan, ang gaganda ng ating gising ngayong araw na to. Diyosa pa-on cam para kita ka na nandito na. Spencer, okay lang ikaw ulit taga-picture ngayong araw na to?
Okay lang po.
Palagi. Sige, Limpenko. Limpenko. Sige, mag-picture na tayo. Limpenko, please. Kitang-kita ka kasi. Sige. Bilang
1, 2, 3, go. Okay na po, ma'am.
Good morning. O habang 18 pa lang tayo, pwede na tayong mag-pray. O pwede na kayong mag-off ulit. Si Sir Lucido ang maglilid ng prayer natin ngayon. Ma'am, sira po yung cam ko. Okay. So, good morning, Mathematics in the Modern World. Tayo ay nasa week 13 na. Konting-konti na lang. Week 13, 14, 15, 16, hanggang 17 na lang. So, yung May natin ay matatapos sa next week na yan. So, ibig sabihin, malapit na malapit na. Meron na lang tayong dalawang topic para matapos natin ang Mathematics in the Modern World. At nga pala, pwede kayong mag-PM sa akin tungkol sa midterm grades nyo. Yung iba, may nag-PM na kung anong grades nila. Meron kayong failed na dalawang kaklase, pero ipini-M ko na sila. Pero hindi rin naman sila gumagawa ng action para makapasa to. So, 3 units tayo at alam nyo naman na nakakahiya ng balikan ang mathematics in the modern world kapag kayo ay second year na, third year na, lalo na ng fourth year na. Kasi hindi naman ibig sabihin na offer ang mathematics in the modern world every SEM, pwede kayong mag-enroll. Siyempre, depende pa rin yon kung kailan kayo papayagan na i-enroll ulit. Ganun kapag failed at magiging irregular na. So, yun. May dalawa lang dito na hindi ko naman pwedeng banggitin ng pangalan, pero alam nyo na kung sino kayo. Ulit, midterm plus sa finals is equal to your grade. So, yun na. Malapit na. Kaya paano ko pa kaya habulin kapag 72 ang kanilang general average ng midterm exam. Okay. So, Sir Lucido, please lead the prayer. Pakibasa nga ito. Atensya na kayo sa aming mga manok.
In the name of God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Dear God, as we gather here today, we come with a heart full of gratitude for the many blessings bestowed upon us. In this season of Thanksgiving, we pause to reflect on the abundance of goodness in our lives, especially as students on a journey of learning and growth. We are thankful for the gift of education which enriches enriches our minds, broadens our horizons, and empowers us to reach our fullest potential. Thank you for the opportunity to pursue knowledge, to explore new ideas, and to expand our understanding of the world around us. We give thanks for the dedicated teachers, mentors, and guides who inspires and support us along this academic journey. This wisdom, encouragement, and guidance are invaluable as we navigate the challenges and opportunities of learning. We express gratitude for the friendship and connections we have formed with fellow students, for the sense of community, camaraderie, and enriches our education experience. May we continue on learning from one another to grow together and support each other in our endeavors. As we approach the end of another year to study, We acknowledge of the hard work, determination, and resilience that have brought us to this point. We are grateful for the strength and perseverance, tough challenge, for the courage to embrace new challenges, and for the lessons learned along the way. On this day of Thanksgiving, we also remember those who may be facing difficulties or obstacles in their educational journey. May they find strength, encouragement, and support to overcome their challenges and continue moving forward with hope and determination. Finally, we offer our gratitude for the countless blessings beyond our academic pursuits, the love of family and warmth of friendship, the beauty of nature, and the countless moments of joy, laughter, and enrich our lives each day. As we gather now in our online class, may we be reminded of the abundance of blessings in our lives. May we always be grateful for the opportunity to learn, to grow, to make positive
Sorry.
to make positive difference in the world. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay. So, salamat sa dasal. Week 13 na ngayon. Let us see your assignment. Attendance, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. Argidas, nandito ka na ba? Atienza.
Present po.
Borhal.
Present po.
De Leon.
Present po.
De Ramos. De Ramos, wala ka last time. Tama?
Apo, ma'am.
Okay. Dioso.
Present po.
Ditan. Ditan, wala ka ng 2 beses na dati. Ebona.
Present po, ma'am.
Eliasar. Wala din to last time. Eliasar, wala pa. Escalante, thank you sa pictures. Flores. Fratkin.
Present po.
Carmina.
Present po.
Agundi. Limpenko. Ito yung wala daw siyang camera. Limpenko, nandyan ka pa ba? Limpenko. Lizardo.
Present po, ma'am.
Lucido.
Present po.
Medenilia.
Present po, ma'am.
Mercado.
Present po, ma'am.
Nueva. Oliva.
Present po, ma'am.
Oliva. Oriel.
Present po, ma'am.
Ponce.
Present po, ma'am.
Pueblo.
Present po.
Quejada. Reyes. Rosal.
Present po, ma'am.
Sevilla.
Nawalan daw po ng internet sa kanila.
Ito yung sinabi mo kanina na brownout.
Ma'am, si Reyes po yun.
Si Reyes yung nagpaalam. Sige, lagyan ko dito. Sa Sevilla, walang internet. Okay. Sumage.
Present po.
Tonelete.
Present po, ma'am.
Valencia.
Present po.
Violanta. Katrina. Violanta. Wala pa. Sige, baka nahirapan lang silang pumasok. Argidas. Ditan. Eliasar.
Present po.
Ma'am, present po. Nakamute po pala ako, sorry.
Argidas.
Present po.
Ditan. Eliasar. Flores. Lagundi. Limpenko. Limpenko, ito yung walang camera. Lizardo, nandito. Nueva. Quejada. At si
Dito na
Violanta.
po, ma'am. Meron po.
Si
Yes po, ma'am, present na po ako.
Si Violanta ay nandito na rin. Ang nagpaalam lang ay si Reyes, brownout sa kanila, at si Sevilla naman na wala ng internet sa bahay. Yun. So, naka-take note na naman dito. Chapter 7 na tayo, Mathematics of Graph. Objectives: define key terms used in the graph theory, differentiate the kinds of graph, create connections in relations to real-life situations, apply the concept in graph theory to solve problems, increase appreciation of graph theory through concepts and the problem. O, di ba? Ang ganda ng background ko. Madaming manok. Ano ba yung matututunan? What is the importance of the topic for you? Para sa inyo lahat. Ito yung visualization of data. The graph provide engineers with a visual representation of complex data sets, allowing them to quickly identify patterns, trends, and relationships that may not be apparent from raw data alone. This visualization is crucial for understanding the behavior of system and making informed decision. Lesson 1 tayo, Fundamentals of Graph Theory. Ang lesson 2 natin ay yung Euler's formula. And lesson 3, graph coloring. Ready na ba yung ating magpe-present sa lesson 1 na nakakatuwa? Maaga to. Okay, sige. Lucido, please.
Share screen ko.
Makikisuyo ulit. Off ko na yung audio ko kasi nakakahiya yung aming mga manok.
Kita po yung presentation.
Thank you for listening. Ayan, next time.
Wala.
Ayan. Thank you for listening. Bye everyone. Ayan, fundamentals of graph theory. Malinaw naman. Sabi ni Ebona, go baby. Sabi niya.
So, good morning everyone. I'm Vincent Alesiden. Today's chapter is Fundamentals of Graph Theory. So, our first lesson is Graph Theory, Fundamentals of Graph Theory. Objectives of these lessons are define and apply terms and graph theory, model some problems with the aid of graphs, and develop appreciation of graph theory. So, introduction. No man is alone. Everyone is connected by a family and friends. Some would say that this connection is a special network of family and friends. In a similar way, graph theory deals with connections and relationships. So, first of all, sa terms po muna tayo. So, what is graph theory? What is a graph? A graph is a collection of vertices connected by edges. So, ano po ba dito ang vertices or a vertex? Ang vertex po dito ay yung etong mga point A, B, C, D, and E. And it is connected by edges. These are called edges that connects vertex. These are vertices and this line are edges. So next, degree. It is the number of edges connected to a vertex. So, kanina, di ba sinabi ko na ang edges yung nagko-connect sa vertex. Then, ang degree daw po ay yung number ng edges that are connected to a vertex. So, here, we have 4 edges. Edges AB, BC, BD, and PE. So, ang example po dito ay vertex A has a degree of 1 kasi isang edge lang naman po yung nagko-connect sa kanya, so 1 lang po. So, can anyone tell me the degree of vertex B?
Who wants to answer, please raise your hand. Yes po, Sir Lizardo.
4 yung number of edges niya.
Tama. Can anyone tell me the number of degree of vertex C, D, and E?
Raise your hand. Yes po, Argidas.
1 each.
Yes, kasi po, iisa lang yung edges na nagko-connect sa kanila from one vertex to another. Then yung B naman, 4 kasi, Ito po. Kasi there are multiple edges that connects vertex B from other vertices such as 1, 2, 3, and 4. Note that edges may be ordered or unordered. So, ito po yung itsura ng unordered edges. It's just a line that connects vertices. And unordered edges are a line that has an arrowhead. Ganito po yung itsura niya. May arrow po siya. So, what are indirect and direct graph? So, dito po papasok yung tinuro kong unordered and ordered edges. So, indirect graph is a graph that has unordered pairs of vertices. So, bakit po ba naging unordered pairs of vertices? Kasi po, yung edges po nila ay unordered. Kaya po, naging unordered pairs of vertices, kaya po siya naging indirect graph. So, ito po yung example niya. The graph, ito. Vertex 1, 2, 3, 4. Ayan po yung indirect graph. So, moving on. Direct graph is a graph that has ordered pairs of vertices. So, bakit po siya naging ordered pairs of vertices? Kasi nga po, katulad ng sinabi ko sa indirect graph, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, ang edges niya ay ordered. So, that means, ang pairs na itong dalawang vertices ay ordered din. That's why naging direct graph siya. So, what are in degree and out degree? So, dito po papasok yung kung saan po nagpo-point yung ordered edges. So, in degree, example po nito ay edges from B to A is called the in degree of vertex B. Bakit po? Kasi, yung ordered edge na nagko-connect sa B and sa vertex B and A is nakapoint kay vertex B. That's why vertex B has an in degree. So out degree. Example po nito ay edges from A to B is called the out degree from the vertex A. Bakit? Bakit po? Kasi yung ordered edge na nagko-connecta from B to A is naka-point outward from vertex A. So, a vertex A vertex B have an in degree of 1 and an out degree of 0. Bakit po 0 ang out degree ni vertex B? Kasi po wala naman pong ordered edge na nagko-connecta sa ibang vertex na pa-point out kay vertex B. So, can anyone tell me how many in degree vertex B have?
Raise your hand. May tanong. Sinong gustong sumagot? De Leon. De Leon, your answer.
Yung ano po ba? In degree.
Yes.
Okay. So, there are no in degree sa vertex D po.
Tama yun. Kasi ang edges lang na nagko-connect from D to A is pa-outward kay D. So that means out degree lang yung meron siya. Then, can anyone tell me the in degree and out degree of vertex B? I mean vertex A.
Ponce. Yan, nag-raise siya ng hand kanina. Ponce.
Ang in degree po is yung A to C, tsaka A to D. Tapos yung out degree naman po is A to B.
Then, yung C naman ay katulad lang din sa ng vertex. Yan. Then, next is simple and null graph. So, A simple graph is a graph that has no multiple loops nor multiple edges. So ganito po yung itsura ng simple graph. It says that no multiple loops. Wala daw pong edges na naglo-loop and nor multiple edges. So how do we mean by that? Etong edge A to D, kapag naglagay po kayo ng additional edge dyan, hindi na po siya simple graph. Kasi po, magkakaroon po tayo ng multiple edges. Basta walang more than 2 edge na nagkokonekta from these 2 vertices. Katulad lang din po dito, dito, and dito. Basta po pag may dalawang edge na nagkonekta sa isang pair ng vertices, hindi na po siya simple graph. Or magka-loop man, hindi na po siya simple graph. Then, null graph. If there are no edges connecting to a vertices, it is called a null graph. Kita naman po yung pagkakaiba nila ng simple graph. Wala po siyang edges na nagko-connecta from vertex to vertex, like this one, this graph here. Next is a path and circuit. Path is a sequence of vertices such as they are connected by edges. So, tandaan po na ang path ay sequence of vertices. And kaibahan po niya sa circuit, ang path ay hindi po nagtatapo sa same vertex. So, in this graph, an example of path is from vertex A to B, and from vertex B to C, and from C to D. So, ganito po itsura niya. Then, another example is pabalik lang po na path. Like D to C, C to B, and D to A. So, yun po yung example ng path. So, next one is circuit. It is a path that starts and ends at the same vertex. So, sa circuit naman po, mag-i-start ka sa isang circuit, sa isang vertex, then magtatapos ka rin po sa kanya. Like this, circuit 1 to 2, vertex 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 4 to 1. So, ganun po yung example ng circuit. So, may tatlo pa po tayong remaining na circuit. Can anyone tell me at least one po?
Nueva.
Simula po sa sa 4, 3, 2, 1. Tapos balik po sa 4.
Tama. Then, yung remaining two, may yun. May the second one na remaining.
Francine.
Hello po. Yung sa 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
Tama. Then last one is so last one po natin is 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3. Pwede rin pong ang circuit niya ay 3, 2, 1, and 4 to 3. Pwede rin pong ganun. So, application in civil engineering. In civil engineering, graph theory is used as designing of canals, rails, and roads. The graph can represent road and rail networks in a natural way. Thus, engineering can plan and develop an ideal routes with a good system. So, thank you po.
Thank you sa mga nakiki-operate kanina at sumagot. May tanong ba kayo para kay Sir Lucido? Ayan. Mag-thumbs up nga pag magko-continue na tayo. O if you have any questions. Pa-on cam na po ulit kung nadidinig ako. Pa-on cam po please. Ayan, nakikita ko na naman ang paghina ng internet ko. Pa-on cam po, magpipicture. Okay, sabi nila okay naman. Nawawala na naman ang camera ko. Pa-on cam po, mag-check lang ulit. Pa-on cam. Nawawala ang camera ko. Bakit ganon? Dumating ba si Ditan? Ditan, dumating ka ba? Ditan, Eliasar, nandito na. Eliasar, nandito ka na ba? Wala pa din. Flores. Flores, nandito ka na ba? Okay. Nandito na si Flores. Lagundi. Josmer, nandito ka na ba? Lagundi. Wala pa. Limpenko. Limpenko. Uy, dinig niyo pa ba ako?
Opo, ma'am. Wala lang po siyang audio.
Okay, no. Okay. Si Nueva ay nakita ko na kanina. Sumagot na rin siya. Si Reyes ay excuse dahil wala siya lang. Yun lang ang hindi pa dumadating, si Ditan, si Eliasar, Lagundi, at Limpenko na lang. Kanina nakita ko dito si
Mama, dito
Limpenko,
po
kaya
si-
lang ngayon nawawala. Ayun,
Mama, dito
nandito
po si
daw
Limpenko.
siya. Ayan, basa ko na. Sige pa, on cam. Picture po ulit. Escalante, pa-picture po.
Okay na po.
Ako nawawala na naman yata. Pa-picture po.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Yolanta, makikisalo ako ulit kapag nawawala ako. Ayan. Thank you. Continue na tayo. Continue na po. Continue na po tayo. Lesson 2. Nawawala na naman na.
Good morning po. Kita na po yung screen.
Kitain ko, kita.
So, good morning. Welcome to Chapter 7, Lesson 2, Euler's formula that will be discussed by Andre Nueva and I, Angel Webner. So, in this lesson, we'll discuss about the lesson's objectives, the key terms, what Euler's circuit and Euler's formula is, and its application to our program, Civil Engineering. So first, before we start our lesson, let's first do a exercise. So in this exercise, which I entitled "Count Me Up," you just have to count the number of edges of the following polygons that I will flash on the screen. So first, how many sides does a hexagon have? So Francine.
Ako?
Yes.
6.
Yon. That's correct. So next, how about this one? How many sides do you think does this polygon have? Aloysius.
8 sides.
Yes, correct. Ay, ilan ulit?
8?
Yes, correct.
Ay, 8 pa.
Yes, correct. Next one. This one is octadecagon. How many sides do you think does it have?
16.
Ryan.
18.
Yes, correct. And then last one.
Bobo.
This one is a three-dimensional polyhedron called a dodecahedron. How many sides do you think does this figure have? Anyone? Any guesses? Francine?
20 ba?
We'll see later as we discuss more about Euler's formula. We'll see with how many sides does this figure have. So continuing,
Okay.
we'll have Mr. Andre Nueva to discuss the following.
Hello po. Good morning everyone. I'm John Andre. For our introduction, it was shown that a circuit is a path that starts and ends with the same vertex. In order to deal with the deeper graph theory, many more terms are to define. Next slide, please. For our topic 1, the objectives, it is define the key terms discussing the Euler circuit, the use of Euler's formula to solve problems, giving practices about the Euler circuit, and the application of Euler's formula in engineering world. For our key terms, i-discuss po natin dito yung connected graph, planar graph, who is Leonhard Euler, and Euler circuit, and Euler's formula, and lastly, the phase. For our connected graphs are graphs in which any vertex can be reached from any other vertex by tracing along edges. This is connected graph in which every possible edges is drawn between vertices without any multiple edges. Such a graph called a complete graph. Kung makikita po natin dito, balik po. Makikita po natin sa graph na yan is mabubuo po yung graph na yan by using any edges na pwede pong pwede pong i-trace ulit yung mga edges gamit yung mga same vertex po. Next slide, please. Planar graph. A planar graph is a graph that can be embedded in the plane. It can be drawn on the plane in such a way that its edges intersect only at their endpoints. In other words, it can be drawn in such a way that no edges crosses each other. Pinagkaiba po ng planar graph sa completed graph is bawal po mag-cross yung mga edges sa isa't isa. Yun po. Next slide. Who is Leonhard Euler? Leonhard Euler was a Swiss mathematician, physicist, astronomer, geographer, logician, and engineer who founded the studies of graph theory and many other branches of mathematics, such as analytic number theory, complex analysis, and infinitesimal calculus. For the Euler circuit, an Euler circuit is a circuit that uses every edges in a graph with no repeats. Being a circuit, it must start and end at the same vertex. Katulad po nung, kung matandaan, meron pong mga pag-games minsan sa school na bawal mabubuo yung shape without lifting the pen or without retracing the path. Next. Euler's formula. Euler's formula are either of two important mathematical theorems of Leonhard Euler. The first formula used in trigonometry and also called the Euler identity. The second, also called the Euler polyhedra formula, is a topological invariance relating the number of faces, vertices, and edges of any polyhedron. What is phase? F is part of the Euler formula, which officially means the number of faces in the graph, including the exterior face. It is written F plus B is equal to E plus 2, where V is the number of vertices and E the number of edges. A cube, for example, has six faces, 8 vertices, and 12 edges, and satisfies this formula. For our topic 3, Euler's circuit. Leonard Euler first discussed and used Euler paths in circuits in 1736. Rather than finding a minimum spanning tree that visits every vertex of a graph, an Euler path or circuit can be used to find a way to visit every edge of a graph once and only once. This would be useful for checking parking meters along the street of a city, patrolling the streets of a city, or delivering mail. Euler circuit. Ano nga pong pinagkaiba ng Euler path sa Euler circuit? An Euler path is a path that uses every edges of a graph exactly once. An Euler path starts and ends at different vertices. Katulad po nung in-explain ni Lucido kanina, yung Euler path po is kapag ka po nagsimula siya sa vertex A, hindi po siya kailangan magkatapos sa vertex A din, kahit sa ibang different vertex po siya. An Euler circuit is a circuit that uses every edges of a graph exactly once. An Euler circuit starts and ends at the same vertex. Katulad din po na sinabi ni Lucido kanina, kapag ka po nagsimula sa vertex A, hindi din po magkatapos sa vertex A. Ito po yung mas more explanation po ng Euler path. A Euler path travels every edge once and only once and starts the end and ends at different vertices. This graph cannot have an Euler circuit since no Euler path can start and end at the same vertex without crossing over at least one edge more than once. Ito po yung example ng Euler path. Euler circuit. This Euler circuit travels every edge and once and only once and start and ends at the same vertex. Therefore, it is a Euler circuit. Ito naman po example ng Euler circuit. Yan. Ayan po yung pinagkaiba nila. Kung makikita niyo po dyan, halos same sila ng shape, pero pinagkaiba po nila dyan is may one line lang po yung pinagkaiba nila. Kaya po naging Euler path and Euler circuit. For our practice, sino pong pwedeng sumagot? Is this a Euler path or a Euler circuit, and why?
Yan, pa-raise po ng hand. Pa-raise ng hand. Sige, tawag ka na lang. Limpenko.
Okay. Wag po si Limpenko, ma'am. Next po si Limpenko. Si ano po? Si Kurt Hermina.
Sige, okay.
Kurt Hermina, nandiyan ka ba? Ayaw po sumagot. Si ano na lang po? Si Arabel Borjal.
Teka lang. Hermina, nandyan ka ba? Hermina. Yan, nawawala na. Sige, tinawag mo na.
Ay, na lang po, ma'am. Si Aloysius po. Nag-raise hand na po si Aloysius.
Try lang. Euler's path kasi although katulad siya ng Euler circuit kung natadaanan lahat ng sides, it ends up in the same vertices kasi. Kunyari nag-start ka sa D, mag-e-end ka sa D. Yung
tingnan natin yung answer. Next slide po. Ano siya, Euler circuit siya. Kasi even though magsisimula ka sa ibang side niya, para nagsimula ka sa vertex A niya, mag-e-end pa rin siya sa vertex A. Kahit anong gawin natin. Kung nagsimula siya sa vertex C, magtatapos pa rin siya sa vertex C. Thank you pa rin, Aloy. Next slide po. For our next, give the two Euler circuit in this graph if the starting point is the letter A. Sino pong pwedeng sumagot?
Taas po, sinong pwedeng sumagot? Ayan na, si
Si
Francine.
po.
Try lang. ADE to vertex F to C to B to A.
Mali, kasi hindi niya nadaanan yung middle line dun.
Okay.
Nice try. Kay Gian Rosal po.
Ano po? A, E, C, A, B, C, F, E, D, A.
Ayan. Sige po.
Isa pa na?
May isa pa pong isang vertex. Ay, nalabas na agad.
Tsaka A, D, E, A, C, E, F, C, B, A.
Ayan. Tingnan natin sa next slide. Ayan, tama. Next slide po. Next, isa lang po yung Euler circuit dito. Can get the one Euler circuit in this graph if the starting point is letter A. Yes po. Achensa Karen.
Start sa letter A, D, wait lang. A, D, E, B, D, C, A.
Tingnan pa sa next slide. Yun, tama. Next po. For our last practice, meron po ditong isang Euler spot. Kung sino po makasagot nito, ano po? Wala po, magaling lang. Ba't mo alam? Si ano po? Sige po, si Ryan na po.
Simula tayo sa A. A, F, C, E, G, D, H, B. Tapos balik sa H.
Ano pa ulit nga? Simula sa A, sunod sa F.
So,
C.
A, F, C, E, G, D, H, B, H.
Okay. Thank you. Next slide po. Try mo muna gago. Iba po yung sinagot ni Ryan, pero okay lang din po kasi same lang din naman po yung ginalabasan. Kasi Euler spot nga po yun, so may iba pong way doon.
So now let's go to Euler's formula. So as what I've mentioned in the key terms, ang Euler's formula po may dalawa siyang mathematical theorem. One is used in trigonometry, also known as Euler's identity, and the one that we'll talk about today is called Euler polyhedra formula. So yung formula po niya is F is equal to E minus V plus 2. So ano nga bang ibig sabihin ng mga letters sa formula na to? F is phase, E are edges, and V are vertices. So next, before we completely dive into our formula, let's first talk what is a polyhedron. So polyhedron is siya yung singular term, while polyhedra siya naman yung plural form. So ang polyhedron is a three-dimensional solid with faces that are flat. So itong mga figures sa baba natin, sila yung examples ng polyhedrons natin. Meron tayong prisms, pyramids, and platonic solids. So bukod dito, meron pa tayong ibang mga examples, but today sa topic natin will just talk about these three. So, next. So, before natin gamitin yung formula, alamin muna natin, alin ba sa polyhedron yung mga parts na yon. So, itong mga shapes na to, yung mga flat surfaces sa bawat sides ng polyhedron, yan yung tinatawag natin na face. Then, itong mga straight lines na to, na bumubuo dun sa mga shapes, yan yung edges. And then, itong mga parts, itong mga points na to, kung saan nagdudugtong yung mga lines, yung mga edges, that is called a vertex. So, for practice. So, let's count the number of faces, vertices, and edges of the given polyhedron. So, is there anyone who would like to give it a try? Camille?
Yung face, dalawa.
Camille daw.
Yung vertices, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Tapos yung edge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
Thank you. Let's see if paano ba natin siya bilangin yung faces, vertices, and edges. So, thank you, Camille. So, let's see. So, as what I've said, ang isang polyhedron, 3-dimensional siya. So, if we'll just look at the picture, so basically, medyo complicated nga siyang bilangin. So, if given yung figure natin, then, and meron tayong access to top and bottom view, mas mabibilisan tayo magbilang ng edges, faces, and vertices. So, itong may mga bilog, yan yung mga vertices. Diyan nagko-connect yung mga edges natin. So, dito makikita natin meron tayong 1, 2, 3, and 4 na vertices. Then, yung faces natin, as what I've said, yan yung mga shapes na bumubuo dun sa figure natin. So, dito meron tayong 4 na faces. Then, yung edges, yun yung mga lines. Dito meron tayong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 edges. So, for our next practice, so dito naman, so yan, a tetrahedron have 4 vertices, 4 faces, and 6 edges. So, dito naman, dito medyo kita na natin yung bawat parts ng figure. So, okay, Aloysius?
Meron siyang 2, 3, 4, 5 faces, tapos vertices ay 6 na vertices, tapos yung edges ay 9 edges.
Pwede yung paulit.
Yung sa face, 5 na faces, tapos yung vertices ay 6 na vertices, tapos yung edges ay 9.
So, let's see. Yan, so correct. Meron tayong 5 faces, 9 edges, and 6 vertices. So now, let's try to use our formula. So, if a square pyramid have 5 vertices, 8 edges, how many faces does it have? So, here I'll show first kung paano natin siya ginagamit. So, using our formula, so F is equal to E minus B plus 2. So, first, let's plug in our given facts. So, meron tayong 5 vertices and 8 edges. So, E is 8 since wala yung edges natin. V is 5 since 5 ang vertices. So, ang ating equation is F is equal to 8 minus 5 plus 2. So, ang sagot natin, a square pyramid has 5 faces. If bibilangin natin, ganun din yung makukuha natin. So, for the next one, so if an octahedron have 8 faces and 12 edges, how many vertices does it have? So, who would like to give it a try using our formula? Ryan.
So, yung given facts natin is 8 faces, 12 edges. So, ano natin siya? Isolate si V. So, V is equal to E minus F plus 2. So, 12 minus 8 is equal to 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. So, meron tayong 6 na vertices.
So, thank you. So, let's see kung paano ginawa yan ni Ryan. So, as what he said, naggumamit tayo dito ng manipulation ng formula since ang hinahanap natin ay vertices. Pero yung sa formula natin, as you can see, F yung nandito. So, kailangan, katulad ng sinabi niya, kailangan natin ma-isolate yung V. So, to do that, ang gagawin natin, iiwanan lang natin siya. So, para maiwanan natin siya, magpa-plus tayo dito ng V both sides. And then, after natin matanggal yung V dito sa ating right side, gagawin naman natin, tatanggalin natin yung F. As you can see kasi, pag nag-plus tayo ng V both sides, meron pa tayong F. Ang kailangan natin, maiwanan yung V. So, to do that, magma-minus tayo ng F para ma-cancel siya and malipat sa kabila. So, now, meron na tayong formula that will satisfy the given facts that we have. So, yung formula na natin ngayon is V is equal to E plus 2 minus F. So, substitute lang natin lahat ng given facts na meron tayo, which gives us a vertices of 6. So, correct yung sagot ni Ryan. An octahedron have 6 vertices. So, lastly, yung example natin kanina na dodecahedron. So, let's see kung ilang edges nga ba meron siya. So, to get the formula for edges, same principle lang katulad sa vertices natin. I-manipulate lang ulit natin yung formula para makakuha tayo ng formula that will satisfy your given fact. So, again, we'll just substitute our given fact. So, E is equal to F plus B minus 2. F is 12. V is 20. And then minus 2. So, perform lang natin yung equation and then we will have the answer. So, a dodecahedron have 30 edges. So, if you gusto nyong makita pa yung ibang mga polyhedra, ito yung link na ginamit ko para makita ko yung 3D view as well as yung mga edges, face, and vertices ng iba't ibang mga polyhedra. So, yung topic application. So, as we've learned, yung Euler's formula, it deals with polyhedras, different shapes. And alam naman natin na sa civil engineering, we deal with a lot of physical structures. And then, yung knowledge about Euler's formula allows to give us a simple understanding of complex shapes. And crucial siya since engineering nga is dealing with a lot of structures with various shapes and physical properties. Katulad nitong mga example pictures natin. So, our topic summary. So, Euler's formula is a simple formula, yet it is one of the most important theories of all times. It is just one of the many concepts of graph that is easily understood. Again, Euler's circuit is a circuit that uses edges only once. And Euler's formula have two mathematical theorems. The Euler's identity and the one that we talk about today, the Euler's polyhedra formula. And again, our formula is F is equal to E minus B plus 2. So, that ends our report. I hope you learned a lot and thank you for actively participation. Thank you.
Wow, galing-galing naman. May tanong ba kila Pueblo? Napakalinaw niyang nai-present yung kanyang topic nilang dalawa ni Nueva. Meron ba kayong tanong dyan sa dalawa? Nakaka-lesson 1 and 2 na tayo. May tanong ba? O pa-on cam po ulit para pag may tanong po ba kayo sa kanila? Violanta, parang hindi na naman ako naririnig. Violanta.
Yes po.
Ayan, pa-on cam po.
Ma'am, di po ba ako naka-on cam sa inyo?
Ayan. Escalante, parang ako ang nawawala. Escalante, okay na?
Wait lang po.
Pa-on cam
1,
po.
2, 3. Okay na po.
Sige. Ayan, ngayon pa lang kayo nag-on cam sa akin. Wala ba kayong tanong dun sa lesson 1 tsaka lesson 2 para makapag-proceed na tayo para sa Susunod. O, ayun. Wala na daw. O, next na po tayo.
Yan. Hello po. Kita na po.
Kita Gian.
And thank you, thank you. Hello, so great morning everyone. I'm here to present Chapter 7, Lesson 3, entitled Graph Coloring. The objectives of this report is to understand the concept of the graph coloring, minimizing the number of colors used, application in real world scenario, and apply the theories to graph coloring. For the introduction, in graph theory, graph coloring is a special case of graph labeling. It is an assignment of label traditionally called color to element of a graph subject to certain constraints. Graph coloring is a fundamental concept in graph theory, where the objective is to assign color to the vertices of a graph in such a way that not two adjacent vertices share the same color. This problem has various real-world applications, including scheduling, register allocation, in compiler design, map coloring, and wireless frequency assignment. So, let's proceed to the activity. To give you guys some example, I'm going to answer the first graph, then the second graph will be answered by one of you. Okay. Ayan. Edit ko na lang po. Okay. So dito, katulad po nung mga sinabi ng mga reporter natin, ito po yung graph natin. This is the vertices. Dito po is meron po tayong 4 na vertex. So dito po is kukulayan po Okay, suppose I color this first vertex red. Ayan. But first po pala, ay. Yan, ayaw nang mawala. So I want to do here is to color the vertices in a way so that not two adjacent vertices have the same color. So what do I mean by that? Our goal here is to minimize the number of color we use such as a way that not two consecutive vertices share the same color. So dito, kukulayan nga po natin yung first vertex natin ng red. Then I'm going to go to over the adjacent vertices. When I'm saying adjacent vertices, siya yung parang neighbor ng vertex na yun. So itong vertex na to, ang consecutive vertex niya is this one, this one, this one. Then kung ito naman pong vertex na to, kita po ba yung ko? Yan, kita naman siguro. So itong vertex na to, ang adjacent vertex niya is ito, tsaka itong itong dalawang to. So dito, since gumamit na ako ng red dito, bawal na akong gumamit ng another red color dito. So I'm going to use another color. Ayan. Then dito naman po sa vertex na to, pwede na akong gumamit ng blue since na hindi naman po magka-connect tong vertex na to dito sa vertex na to. Then for our fourth vertex, I'm going to use another color ulit because nawala. Because no choice po tayo dito since na meron na po tayong blue tsaka red dito. Bawal na po nating ulit gamitin siya. Yan. Remember, our goal here is to minimize the number of color we use. So we conclude that we need 3 color to avoid collusion for this graph. Ayan. Graph coloring is one of the most easily understand concept of the graph theory. However, theoretically, it is also one of the most difficult concept to generalize. Mabilis lang naman siyang gawin. Basta tandaan nyo lagi yung goal natin is to minimize the number of color we use in a way that not two consecutive vertices share the same color. Katulad ng ginawa ko dito. Okay, sino pong gusto sumagot ng example number 2? Go, Pratkin.
Yan, si Camille.
Kukulayan.
Sige, ako na magkukulay. Anong color gusto mo?
Sige,
Red.
red.
Go, eto. Alin dito? Kahit ano.
Kahit yan na lang. Yan na lang, yung taas.
Tapos,
Next, orange.
wala na sa yung orange dito. Ayun. Alin, kahit ano.
Oo, kasi connected kasi sila lahat kaya magkakaiba sila ng kulay. No? Orange. Sige, green na.
Saan? Kahit saan.
Oo. Blue. Tapos violet.
Mukha siyang pink. Ayan. Ayan, thank you for your collaboration. So we conclude in this graph, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 color to avoid collusion. Ayan. Next slide. Thank you, Patkin. Analysis. Recall that a planar graph is a graph such that no edge cross each other. There are two theorems that notable, two colorable graph theorem and the four color theorem. So katulad nung diniscuss kanina, sino kaya dito makakapagsabi kung alin dito yung planar graph and non-planar graph? Planar graph. Planar pala siya. Anyone po? Sige, Pratkin, ikaw ulit.
Yung left,
Ito, ano siya?
Planar.
Okay.
Tapos yung isa non-planar.
Ayan, thank you. Ayan. Let's proceed to two-color graph theorem. The two-colorable graph theorem state that a graph in a two-colorable if and only if it has no circuit that consists of an odd number of vertices. So dito, if tandaan nyo pa yung meaning ng circuit is a path that start and end with the same vertex. Ang example niya po is parang ganito. Dito po sa pagka po pinutol ko po itong graph na to, makakabuo po tayo ng circuit dito. And sabi po dito is dapat hindi siya odd number, which is dapat even nga siya. Dito naman po is 1, 2, 3, 4. So, even number naman po siya. So, under po siya ng two-color graph theorem. Then also, yun nga po sa first step natin is dapat po is planar graph po siya. Since wala naman po siyang intersection dito na nagaganap, so I conclude that this is a planar graph. Naman po, sasagutan ko na lang po dito ng mabilisan to. Ayan. Since na two-colorable graph nga, meaning from the word itself, gagamit lang po tayo dapat ng dalawang color. So, we conclude that this first example is a two-color graph theorem. Sinong gusto sumagot ng next Tawag na lang po ako, ma'am.
O tawag ka na lang para sila na lang magbibigay ng color. Ikaw ulit ang maglalagay. Sila magsasabi, ikaw maglalagay ng color.
Okay po.
Flores, Alexa. Nawawala na sila. Flores.
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay. Sige,
Help mo ako
answer mo
dito.
yan.
Sige. Ano? Kukulayan lang, no? Sasabihin ko lang sa'yo. Sige. Yun doon saan? Doon sa pinakauna. Ano? Color red na lang.
Ayan. Dito.
Ah.
Ayan. Red. Tapos,
Doon sa sumunod na ano? Violet na lang.
violet. Tapos,
Tapos doon sa ano, doon sa ilalim ng violet. Ano, pwede
Okay.
na siya red, di ba? Since connected doon sa
since na dapat dalawang color lang ang magamit natin. Tapos,
wait lang. Tapos dyan sa kabila, no, sa tabi ng red, yan. Ano, violet na ulit.
violet ulit. Ayan.
Ito yung isa, red ulit.
Saan? Dito na?
Tapos yung sa taas, violet. Tapos red, violet.
Violet dito, tama? Tapos,
Tapos red dun sa tabi.
red dito.
Hala, bakit ganun? Delete mo na lang yun.
Tapos,
Hindi siya pwede di ba?
mag-tricolor.
Magkatabi.
Ayan. Pero thank you. Since na meron na, ano talaga dito is gagamit talaga tayo dito ng, no choice tayo kahit dito tayo magsimula ng coloring natin is gagamit talaga tayo ng red. Ng red tuloy. Ng 3 colors talaga to avoid collusion. So dito gagamit na lang muna tayo ng yellow. Thank you, Alexa. So ang tanong ko naman dito, bakit tayo since na hindi siya kasali sa two color graph theorem, so bakit tayo napagamit ng tatlong color? Anyone wants to answer?
Bakit daw? Kanina nakakatuwa, nagtaka siya. Kasi kahit saan niya ilagay yung color niya na red tsaka violet, meron talagang magdidikit na dalawa. O si Lizardo ulit. Sir, bakit po kaya kailangan ko gumamit tayo?
Ma'am, kasi po nagkaroon po ng intersection po between dun po sa tatlong vertices po dun sa may bandang harap.
Ano po yung answer natin? Sorry po. Any answer? De Leon.
So, na-explain dun kanina na ang two-color graph theorem ay nagagawa siya dun sa mga circuit graph. Sa mga circuit graph or planar graph. So, makikita po natin dito sa figure ngayon. Hindi siya circuit kasi kahit saan ka magsimula, hindi siya circuit, basta ganun.
Hindi siya circuit? Actually,
hindi siya circuit.
may siya kanya. Kuwari, this part. At itong part, circuit din siya. Ito hindi naman siya yung parang binibilang din naman. Bukod sa planar graph naman siya, dahil wala naman siyang intersection, may katulad din siya sa parang din siya. Parang pasok pa rin siya sa two-color bar graph. Pero meron talagang isang mistake dyan. Bakit gumamit tayo ng tatlong color? Malapit na yung sagot mo, Mr. De Leon. Thank you. Si Andre Nueva po. Kanina po tumaas po siya.
Hindi naman eh.
Oh, what is the answer? The
Yes,
two
it's
colorable
Kim.
graph theorem states that what is yours? Si Camille naman. Camille. States that the graph is two colorable if and only if what?
Ayan.
Yung try lang po kung bakit naging three color yung ginamit. Kasi po, kung mapansin po natin sa right side, dalawang bilog lang po yun. Pero po, nung nag-left side na po, sa isang line po, nakatatlong bilog.
Ma'am, tama po ba yan? Tama
Another answer. Tama naman yung mga sagot nila. Tama yung sagot
Ayan na
nila
pa
yung
po.
mga kanina pa.
Opo. Eto, ma'am, i-explain ko lang po yun dito.
Isa na lang.
Go. Atienza.
Kanina hindi mali yung sagot nila. Simula nila.
Opo, ma'am.
Lizardo. Hindi
Tama
mali
naman
yun.
po.
Nila.
Hindi lang po specific.
Kulang lang. Okay.
Try lang po. Feeling ko kaya ibang color na kasi hindi siya doon nag-start. Kasi di ba nag-start siya doon sa red sa pinakadulo. Since hindi siya doon natap, kaya ibang color na yung ginamit.
Wrong din po. And De Leon, si Valencia.
Ano, 'di ba sa planar, sabi mo kanina, even dapat yung makuha. Dito meron tayong add since meron tayong tatlong bilog dito sa gilid.
And, ano siya? Hindi siya planar. Circuit. Kasi ang planar natin is
Non-planar.
yung hindi siya dapat nag-intersect yung mga edge ng graph natin. Ayan, tama naman yung sinabi mo. Since na, dito yung quality, tignan natin tong circuit na to. Itong part ng circuit na to. Mabibilang natin dyan na meron siyang vertex na 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, it's an odd number. Hindi siya even. Kaya naging 3 yung color na ginamit natin to avoid collusion. Ayan. Thank you, Valencia. Okay, next slide po tayo. Okay, let's proceed to four-color graph theorem. Another theorem is used to color graph. This is known as the four-color theorem. Instead of coloring the vertices, the regions of the graph are colored. The four-color theorem state that at most, four color are needed to color the planar graph, such as no adjacent region share the same color. So dito naman, instead of vertices, pasensya na po sa drawing ko. Ganito po talaga yan. Ito po talaga itsura ng ganyan. Mukha malapit naman po siya. Ayan. So instead of vertices, ang gagawin, ang kukulayan naman natin dito is yung regions niya. Same rules pa din. No, ano nga ba to? No consecutive regions dapat yung makukulayan natin. At yung regions nga pala, yung mga nasa loob na yan, yung parang mga phases natin. So dito naman is four color naman ang gagamitin natin. Ako na po magsasagot dito.
Sige, ikaw na. Para diretso kulay.
Violet. Dito is red. So dito, ang hindi natin matatamaan dito is itong yellow ulit. Dito naman, hindi natin matatamaan dito is yung violet and red, pero violet na lang. Dito naman is itong red. Dito is green. Pwede ulit tayo maggamit dito ng red. Since na hindi naman siya adjacent to each other, ito is violet. Pwede na dito. Ayan. Ganyan lang po pagka naman po sa four-color graph theorem natin. So, next. Ngayon naman po is to apply natin siya in real-life situation. Ito dito sa problem na to, scheduling problem. Suppose we have several classes to offer but limited number of classroom. Some classes cannot be offered at the same time because the same instructor teaches the classes. What is the minimum number of classroom needed for the following? So ito po yung table natin. Mag-hide ka nga dyan. Ito po yung table natin. Ayan. So ito po yung courses natin which is yung gagamitin natin bilang vertices natin. We have the algebra, geometry, calculus, discrete, and trigonometry. So, dito po is i-connect lang po natin yung mga sides natin to each vertex na naka-indicate dito sa courses to conflict with. Black. Ito pala, black. Ayan. Ay. So dito, the algebra, nakakonect siya sa geometry and trigonometry. Algebra, geometry, and trigonometry. Then dito sa geometry po natin is nakakonect siya sa calculus and algebra na nakakonect na. Then calculus natin nakakonect siya sa geometry, nakakonect na, trigonometry, then discrete. Dito naman sa discrete natin, nakakonect siya sa calculus and trig. Ayan. Then sa trig natin, nakakonect siya sa discrete, calculus, and algebra. So dito naman is ganun ulit yung procedure natin. No consecutive color for each vertices. Then ako na rin po magkukulay dito para po mabilis na. Ito is kukulayan ko siya na, ay, ba't ito gamit ko? And dito naman is blue. Dito naman is yellow. Dito naman is blue. And dito naman is red. So, ayan. Ayan, tapos na po yung graph natin. So, we conclude that we need 1, 2, 3 color. Suppose that is the classroom for the following courses. We conclude that we need 3 classroom for the following courses. Ayan, dyan po natin may apply yung real world scenario po natin. Ayan. So, thank you po. I hope na naintindihan niyo po lahat ng presenter natin ngayong araw. That would be all. Gratitude in all caps. Thank you po. Presente.
Ayan, hindi na naman dinig yung aking isang account. Thank you, Rosal. Pinag-aralan mong masyado. Kaya naman, may tanong ba kayo sa nag-report nating tatlo? Pa-thumbs up naman kung wala na kayong tanong para tapos na tayo ngayong araw na to. Aralin ko na lang, sabi ni Lagun. Ayun. So, hindi talaga dumating si Eliasar, si Ditan. Yun lang ang hindi dumating. Dalawa. Tama ba? Violanda, dinig pa ba ako?
Yes po.
Ayun. Pasensya na at hindi gumagana tong isa kong account. Ayun. Yun lang sa ngayon. Pwede na kayong mag-off. Pwede na kayong mag-leave. Thank you sa mga reporters. Kay Lucido, Nueva, Pueblo, at Rosal. Ayan. Thank you po mga engineers.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you po.
Yung mga
Thank you po, ma'am.